Hello students, today we're going to talk about the order of operations. So what is the order of operations? It's the agreed upon order that we simplify and evaluate expressions. It actually, they came together in 1917 and decided on an order that would make sense. And they put multiplication higher than addition because multiplication is repeated addition. So here's an example. If you use one of these basic calculators and you do 1 plus 2 times 3, you're going to get the wrong answer. On your iPhone calculator, if you turn it sideways, you do 1 plus 2 plus 3. 1 plus 2 times 3, you will get 9. But that's not right. Using the order of operations, we do not do the problem from left to right. We do this problem first. So we do 1 plus 6, which is 7. So again, why does that make sense? Because 2 times 3 is 2 plus 2 plus 2. 2 groups of 3 is 6. So that's why we do multiplication before addition. This problem went viral. It had over 5 million views on YouTube, and people argued about it on social media for months. So there's two ways to interpret this problem, which is why there were lots of arguments. Following order of operations, in the US, we use something called PEMDAS. To help us, it's a mnemonic to help us remember. In other countries, they use BODMAS. And so it kind of depends what country you're in, what mnemonic device you're going to use to help you remember what order to do things in. But multiplication is repeated addition, and exponents are repeated multiplication. So this part makes sense in the order of operations mnemonic. So in this problem, we have some ambiguity. We have 6 divided by 2, and then most people agree that we're going to begin here. The P stands for parentheses, the B stands for brackets, or sometimes it's written with a G for grouping symbols, GEMDAS. Okay. So everyone has agreed that we do the 1 plus 2 first. Okay. Now here's where people start to argue. Do you do the multiplication and then the division, or do you do the division and then the multiplication? Well, people who memorize PEMDAS say, oh, you have to do multiplication before division. But the reason they're written on the same line is that they're inverse operations. They're equally important. So there's something called the left to right rule. So sometimes you do division before multiplication, and sometimes you do multiplication before division. In this case, it's how you read the problem from left to right. So because there's division and multiplication, I could rewrite it like this, on the same line, we would do the division first. So in this problem, we would do 6 divided by 2 is 3, and then we would finish at 3 times 3 is 9. This would be the order that you would do this problem if you were following the order of operations, PEMDAS. Now, where a big argument got in place was in what the heck does this mean? Because in algebra class, we don't usually use the division symbol. We usually would write the expression like this. 6 divided by 2 times the quantity 1 plus 2. This division symbol is kind of ambiguous. And if you interpreted the problem this way, you would do 6 divided by 2 times 3, or you would do 6 divided by 6, which is 1. So this is a really interesting problem that they argued about a lot. And it's how you interpret it. And the problem itself is ambiguous and not a very good problem. If you wanted to follow order of operations, you would get 9. If you wanted to value and think about the division symbol differently, you would get 1. All right, here's just a fun puzzle. You go step by step through order of operations. I'm going to use GEMDAS or GEDMASA. This just shows me that I can do multiplication and division in either order, depending on what comes first in the problem. So I'm going to take it step by step, the 52. The first thing I'm going to go for here is the grouping symbol. So I'm going to start here by simplifying that. Okay, do we know what 4 minus 2 is? Yep, it's 2. Okay, I have, in this problem, there were grouping symbols, there are exponents, there was multiplication, there was subtraction, and there was addition. All of this stuff was going on in this problem. I have done the grouping symbols. Next thing I'm going to deal with is the exponents. There are actually 2 exponents in this problem. The exponents are the little numbers, the 2 and the 3. Okay, so I'm going to do both of those. I'm going to do 8 to the second power. That's not 16. 8 to the second power is 8 times 8. It's repeated multiplication. So that's 64. And then I'm also going to do 2 to the third power. 2 to the third power is 2 times 2 times 2. Do we know what that is? Just thinking. 2 times 2 times 2. Good, that's 8. All right, so I've done both exponents. So I've simplified my grouping symbols. I've dealt with both exponents. Now what am I going to do? Now I have multiplication. So this 52 just keeps coming straight down. The 64 comes straight down. I need to do 8 times 3. 16, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 24. So I did the 3 times 8. Okay. Now I'm at the bottom. Do I do addition and subtraction, or I do subtraction and addition? Okay. I'm going to read it from left to right. In this problem, the addition comes first. So I'm going to add them, and then I'm going to subtract. 52 and 64 is 2 and 4 is 6, and that's 11, 116 minus 24. Okay, and 6 minus 4 is 2, 11, 10, 9. I think it's 92. Okay, I can check with the calculator if I'm not sure on that last one. 16, 4, 11, 10, 9. Okay, good. So all of this junk is just another way to write the number 92. All right, here is where it gets actually applicable to algebra. Remember, algebra problems have variables in them. So this is a very common type of problem we're going to get when we do quadratics. And if you do it in the wrong order, you're going to get the wrong answer. So this is actually very applicable to what we're doing later in this course. So we have -3 times, we're going to substitute the x for -2. So we have -3 times -2 squared plus 5. All right, where do we start this one? Well, we can remember GEMDAS. Okay, these grouping symbols are not really grouping symbols. This is actually the exponents. We do have multiplication and we do have addition. Okay, so we're going to start with the exponent. Order of operations says deal with the exponent first. So this is going to be -3. Do we know what -2 times -2 is? It's +4. Okay. So I did the exponent. Now I need to do my multiplication. This is -3 times +4, which is -12. And now I'm done. I'm at the last step. I just deal with my addition. A negative 12 and a 5, we practiced that before. Negative 7, you can think of it on the number line. You're at negative 12 over here, and you're jumping 5, and you land at negative 7. So where's the algebra? A little kid might get confused if you say 1 plus 2 times 3, because they're going to do 1 plus 2, and then they're going to do times 3, and they're going to get 9. An algebra student knows that in the problem 1 plus 2 times 3, we have an agreed upon situation where we do the multiplication before the addition. So we do the 6, and then we get the answer as 7. And in math, paying attention to details is super important. Be good, do your homework.